Well, tonight, you can hear from the man who helped put one of the most notorious criminals behind bars. Joseph DeAngelo, known as the Golden State Killer, terrorized California for nearly a decade. Now he's behind bars for the rest of his life. Sacramento County District Attorney Tin Ho is now detailing the investigation from his perspective in the newly released book, The People versus the Golden State Killer. And this morning, we welcome DA Tin Ho with us this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
No, thank you for allowing me to come and talk about the book.
Of course, and congratulations on this new book. It was officially released yesterday. Yes. You know, you and I were talking a little bit in the commercial break. I have been here for 8 years, and so I remember this case very vividly, and having talked to a lot of the victims. There's been a lot that has already been put out about this case. I mean, there's a documentary, there have been a number of books. What is it now that you're revealing in this book, and why now?
You know, a lot of times true crime books, they cover the crime and the criminal. What I wanted to do was focus on the generation of law enforcement officers that never gave up the search, and on the survivors. One of the new tidbits of information is really the interrogation that's never been released before. What happened when he was placed in a room, sat there for essentially 2 hours, and then what he said.
Yeah, I read something about that this morning, even that there was, I think, a Dr. Pepper that was involved in this. Tell our viewers a little bit more about that pivotal moment that really happened in this case.
He was confronted. He was confronted with all the crimes, and at first he claimed that he didn't remember, but when left alone in the room, he started to talk to himself, trying to set up a mental defense. And what he did was try to blame this on a split personality, an alternative personality, Jerry. Jerry made me do it. Jerry forced me to do it. I didn't want to do it. I did all these things. So he essentially confessed to the crime, but blamed it on a split personality, and how we dealt with that in the case.
Yeah, very, very interesting. How much did, and I won't call them victims because during this process, they were very clear that they did not want to be identified as victims. How were the survivors a part of telling this story?
They were a main part of it. In fact, they were a main part of the case. They always were at the forefront of everything that we did, and there was a meeting that I covered in the book where they stood up and said, we want to make sure that the cases where he couldn't be charged because the statute of limitation had run, we want to make sure we get justice, and everything we did was for that.
The other part of this book that's very interesting is that you also weave your personal journey into this. Explain to our viewers how you were able to navigate things through your own path as well.
You know, I was born in Vietnam. I escaped there as a refugee and an immigrant on a fishing boat. And I talk about how I came to this country. I couldn't speak a word of English. I learned how to speak English by watching Bugs Bunny cartoons. 20 years later, graduated from law school. And so I just wanted to give back to this country, give back to the victims and the community that gave my family a second chance.
Yeah. What is it that you most want people to take away from the book?
Resiliency, the resiliency of the human spirit, whether it's from law enforcement that never gave up or the victims who found their voices.
And who is your target audience? Who do you want to really read this and dive in?
You know, you want the true crime genre, people that are very interested in this, but I also want survivors to talk, you know, to read about it and see other survivors, you know, so it's survivors supporting survivors.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Once again, congratulations. And for our viewers, the official book launch is being held tonight at 6 at the Sacramento Central Library. That's on I Street. A portion of the proceeds from the book sales will benefit a nonprofit that advocates for victims' rights.